Good morning, everybody. Today is an exciting day because the old asphalt driveway in the Income Property I'm renovating is getting completely repaved. I'll show some close-ups so you can see, but it's obviously in rough shape right now. It's cracked everywhere, there's grass growing through it. I would imagine this is pretty much the original pour from when the house was built in the 60s. The total quote for this was just over 10 grand, and that was priced at $4.50 a square foot. In total, this job is 2,400 square feet. They should be here soon. They're on their way to get materials now. I can't wait. It's a very exciting day because this is gonna finish the curb appeal for the house.
When the crew showed up, the first thing they did is measure and mark for the outline of the new driveway using orange spray paint. Then, they grabbed the Bobcat, and the first thing they did was remove a layer of gravel and earth where the driveway is going to go in front of the workshop. This is the only place that doesn't have a solid asphalt driveway underneath it already, and we're digging it out. That way the new pour will be flush with the existing concrete. We're doing a 3-inch asphalt layer once it's compacted down, and so once that amount of material was removed, we could move on to the rest of the site in front of the workshop. This pad is going to be pretty wide. You can see it extends the full width of the garage door, quite a bit wider than the rest of the driveway. For now, the guys are just establishing the perimeter and making sure that everything is sloping away for drainage. Later, we'll come back and compact this before the asphalt gets laid down. The main entrance of the driveway in front of the house was super rough. I had already backfilled that with a lot of broken concrete from the sidewalk I had already taken out. Juan made sure to compact that down with the Bobcat, and then after that, he established the edge of the driveway. I mentioned our asphalt is going to compress down to 3 inches, which is going to give us a really sturdy base, especially since we've got this asphalt driveway directly underneath it. Otherwise, you could pour thicker.
So far, so good. That's the end of day one. The guys just left, and on day two, our asphalt's getting delivered. Morning. It's a big day. What's up, Mike?
So this is the paving machine that makes this whole job possible. I'm excited to show it to you. Right now, Richard's just getting it cleaned up while we wait for the asphalt delivery.
They bring the asphalt hot, right? So you have like a certain amount of working time, or is it stay in that pile and
the
you
good thing is the plant from here,
Yeah.
we're not even 10 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna actually have really, really hot asphalt, which is great. I like working close to the plant.
While we were waiting on that asphalt delivery, there were just a couple more prep steps that the guys took care of. Here, they're using a Bobcat attachment called an asphalt planer to remove about an inch or so of material. That way our new pavement comes up flush with that concrete from the garage. You don't want to get your hand stuck in that. At each end of the driveway, they used a concrete saw to cut through the transition between the road and the driveway itself to remove that little bit of material from the road. Another really awesome attachment for the Bobcat these guys have was this sweeper that goes right into the bucket of the Bobcat, so you can dump it into a trailer or you can put it into a pile like what I was doing. I've got plenty of places around the property that I can use this for fill. The crew used backpack landscape blowers to remove the rest of the fine dust from the existing asphalt pavement. Oh, and here you can see the transition for the garage.
All right, you guys show me how this works a little bit. This is basically what lays the asphalt.
Yeah, it's a paver.
It's a paver.
Essentially, the hot asphalt gets loaded into this hopper and then fed into these corkscrews or worm drives. Those spin and push the asphalt out each side, which is then leveled to whatever depth you set with those planer blades. They also use the roller to compact this dirt. Everywhere else, though, has asphalt underneath.
So what's that like oil he's putting down?
That right there is tack. It's for the new asphalt to stick to the old one.
Got it. It just helps everything bond.
So preparation is complete. The asphalt is clean. They've put the tack down. And now we're just waiting for the asphalt truck delivery. I was pretty impressed with this move, using the dump truck to load the hopper of the paver the first time and then moving it in place. The rest gets put into a pile pretty much right there.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yes.
That's hot.
Yes.
And now, it's game time. The reason you see smoke is this whole machine has a propane burner keeping everything slick, moving, and that asphalt hot. And once they start moving forward, they've got these wheels to make sure the depth is constantly at the right height. And they didn't move very far forward before they came back and focused, making sure that the transition before the garage concrete and the start of the driveway is really smooth and consistent. These tools they're using on the handle are called an asphalt rake, and they look really cool. You can basically squeegee the asphalt where it needs to, and because it's so hot, it basically melds with the existing asphalt. After this seam was compacted, they fired up the paving machine and kept moving. You'll see the guys use this depth gauge throughout the process, and that's just to make sure that they're pouring the asphalt to the right thickness. At about this point in the project, the hopper of the paver was starting to get low, so they fired up the Bobcat and started loading from the pile that the dump truck left behind. Asphalt will stay hot in a pile like this basically all day, especially with 100-degree heat like we had, so there was no issue with working time. There was only another 6 or 8 feet before we reached the road. And this is that really rough section we saw earlier, and you can see the guys loading a little extra asphalt to work with. And then it was time to start shaping the end, and this is basically all done by hand. First, they got rid of the bulk material and established a clean edge. Then they just leveled everything out with those asphalt rakes, and man, I gotta say, it looked really good, especially when they came back with the roller to compress everything. I was surprised, and I gotta give the guys kudos because there was quite a bit of asphalt work that needed to be done by hand, not just everything with the paving machine. So everybody make sure and give them a shout out down in the comments below.
And this crew really multitasks well. Over there, we've got the roller flattening the one entrance, and he's gonna blend where the curve is.
And over on this side, the guys were finishing up paving the horseshoe. Man, they were moving quick. Next, we'll do in front of the shop. In the meantime, check out this shot showing the blend between the sections that the paving machine did and what needed to be hand smoothed out. It's cool how everything compresses into one solid piece.
That's 2 sections down, 1 to go. Everything's happening so fast. For real, everybody working as a team like this. It's good stuff. And while that's happening, I'm gonna give a big thanks to the sponsor of today's episode, Squarespace. Squarespace is your one-stop shop for a custom website or online store. And now with Blueprint AI, creating a tailored website to your brand or business has never been easier. All you have to do is describe your brand and what you're looking for, and Squarespace will create a custom template just for you. And then you can take the reins and edit it to make it exactly how you want from there. Squarespace has enhanced search engine optimization so that customers can find you easier, and Squarespace's online stores are super powerful. And online, it's easy for customers to pay with debit card, PayPal, or Apple Pay. And in eligible countries, customers can buy now and pay later with ClearPay and Afterpay. And the last feature I'm gonna highlight are online courses. Squarespace has all the tools to create your own course and turn your knowledge into income. You can set your paywall whether it's a one-time fee or a recurring subscription charge. And that's only the beginning of what you can do with Squarespace. So to learn more, make sure and follow my link in the description, squarespace.com/modernbuilds. And don't forget to use my code ModernBuilds for 10% off your first site, store, or custom domain through Squarespace. As always, huge thanks to Squarespace and you all for watching. Now let's get back to this asphalt. So you'll see in just a second, but this doorway is just a couple feet wider than the machine can do. So they've got to backfill this small section before they can get started.
This was really the only time they used a transfer shovel to move any material around, but they just wanted to get a good blend between this strip they had already poured and the new material they were putting down. You'll see that this pad ended up looking great, and I really liked these next couple of shots. They showed some neat detail of the whole process. Just like in front of the house, they didn't go too far forward with the paving machine before circling back using those asphalt rakes to blend the seam between the concrete for the shop and the new driveway. And it wasn't long until we stopped again.
I think we wound up a tiny bit short on the asphalt delivery. I see them measuring to find out how much we're gonna need to finish out this last maybe 20 feet.
In the meantime, they used the roller to go over everything that we had already paved, even if we had already gone over it once, and then it did not take long for that dump truck to show back up with our final load of asphalt.
That only took like 10 minutes. I guess that's the benefit of being really close to the gravel yard.
By now, I think you guys know the drill. Once we offloaded this material, we then scooped some up with the Bobcat and then loaded that into the hopper of the paving machine. And then we were ready to roll. This next shot was another one that I liked. You can see the crew working together, but also the shape of this pad taking form. The driveway finally got to the width that the paving machine could take care of the rest of this in one pass, and we just added a little bit of material to help blend that horseshoe and the straight line coming from the garage. There's definitely a little bit of an art to this, and then we just kept the machine moving forward until the driveway met the road. And I don't know about the rest of the crew, but to me, this felt like a big accomplishment. There were still a few tasks to take care of, but the majority of this work was done, and it was looking 1-800 Super Pro.
Wow, wow, so nice.
The second entrance into the driveway was one of the main focus points we needed to finish up. First, Juan used a transfer shovel to get the majority of the material out, while Richard used the asphalt rake to smooth and blend around this edge or transition. I remember this used to be a big hump, but now we've got a few inches of asphalt, and that just makes everything sit way more level. Throughout the day, one thing I was happy about is just how much they were using this roller to compact this asphalt down while it was hardening. I could imagine if you were in a hurry, you would just go over everything once, but these guys went over this whole driveway probably 4 or 5 times with that roller, and I have to assume that's going to help everything stay together longer. And while this was happening, the guys were cleaning the road of any excess asphalt. Now, before this big reveal, I think it's a good idea to go and check what this driveway looked like before. So you don't have to, I'll go ahead and say it for you. This driveway looked terrible, and it was totally taking away from whatever resale or rental value that it has. So that's why I'm excited to share with you the afters. This truly is a night and day difference. I am very excited with it. The transition between the road and the new driveway looks great, and the edge between that new pavement and the grass is really starting to fill in. I think this is after about 12 days that this asphalt has been setting. This is going to make the whole area around the workshop way more functional, and I think this is going to last for a really, really long time. And here's another quick throwback shot of what the driveway looked like before, and then what that horseshoe looks like now. Wow. Not to mention, the guys also poured a new concrete sidewalk from the driveway to the front porch, and it looks super pro. I'm thinking this is what I should have done from the beginning, but I'm glad that it's done right now. That is curb appeal complete.
All right, everybody, I got to give a huge thanks to Mike with Mike's Paving. If you're in Oklahoma City, the metro, anywhere rural close by, give him a holler. He does concrete, does asphalt, pretty much anything paved that needs to be done with asphalt or concrete, we'll get it done. But for real, I want you all to give all the shout outs in the comments for Mike and his team. This is a really cool crew. Everybody was super nice, and y'all worked really well together. I was surprised at how fast you guys are.
Half a day today and got it all done, asphalt and everything.
Respect. Big thanks again, Mike.
No problem.
So yeah, everything looks awesome. Thank you again. Make sure and like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you next time on Mike's First Flip. Bye, everybody.
It's Mike's First Flip.
It's Mike's First Flip meets Mike's Paving. It's like, it's meant to be.
See you later, Modern Build. Thank you so much for getting the call, and we're glad to work for you guys.
And make sure you guys holler at him if you need some asphalt work done. All right, see you, Mike.